Hello, everyone, and welcome here to TownHall Heroes, episode number 107. My name is Solid Jake. This week we have BKB, Dunk Train, Schwimpy, and Splendor all in the wrong places because I am absolutely terrible at my job, and that's wonderful.
Nice.
Ooh.
So today we're talking about DreamHack Tours, the Chromie patch, esports in general. We have an announcement for kind of the amateur league, a brand new amateur league in North America. We'll be talking about that, and then we'll be taking viewer questions with any remaining time. But before we get there, BKB, also known as Schwimpy, what's up, man?
So you're asking to me or Shrimpy?
I'm asking Schwimpy.
Good, I guess. This got a little bit confusing now. But it's good. Nothing going on.
Nothing going on. Nice.
Nothing. Didn't just
I don't know.
qualify for an event.
No, fuck. We lost. Yeah, we'll talk about that later, I guess.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
BKB.
Hello. I'm back home after a tournament, and it's Gucci.
It's Gucci.
Could have been better. Yes. Gonna play a lot more this game. So yeah.
That's good, man.
Like 1 hour more, or like?
Huh?
Okay, never mind. Jokes.
Okay.
Jokes.
Jokes. Okay.
All right. Splendor, we'll go with you next.
Hello, it's my first time on the show, so I use this opportunity to introduce myself.
Yeah.
I'm Splendor from Bulgaria. I used to play for Navi, now I'm MY player.
So
Nice.
Splendor,
This is so good.
I love it. But
That's a meme.
let's go a little bit deeper. What's your background in gaming in general? Let's learn a little bit more about you. You're from Bulgaria. What's esports like in Bulgaria? I don't know how many esportsers I know from Bulgaria.
I mean, there is a Dota player in Liquid right now.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, as far as Heroes goes, it's me and Eternal, I guess. And then there were some other players that were playing in a top team before, like Sidem and DreamShock, but not right now. Anyways, I didn't actually want to introduce myself, I was just making a meme because I don't know why you're forcing me to do this, but
That's what I do, man. You're
Jake,
right.
you have to work on that. You
No.
cannot force people. Introduce yourself again, Splendor.
You have to start over. You have to do all of it again now. You ruined it.
You can do it. I believe. Skype, hello?
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 Hello.
Is it me or is it Skype? Everyone?
Skype.
Skype.
It works. now.
Nice.
We live in. All right, Splendor. Let's get a real introduction again.
what do you mean real introduction? Do you want me to do the meme all over again? But it loses its value now that I've done it already.
Yes, you're right. Like, Jake, it's your fault, but we cannot do this.
Okay.
Let's go on,
We'll
Dunk.
have to deal with it.
Okay.
Jake, AJ.
All right, so my introduction, you guys know me. I'm Dunk Train, host TownHall. So new computer is working, everything seems fine, although I've installed OBS Studio, which is the new project, instead of the old OBS Classic, which is different, and I haven't figured it out yet, so I'm working on that. But everything else is going good. I'm really happy with the setup, and we'll discuss the team stuff later, I guess. So that's all for now, folks.
Yeah, we'll get there for sure. If you need any help with Op Studio, I use it now myself. It's really good, so I'll be happy to help you. And there's one other thing I want to talk about before we proceed into talking about DreamHack Tours. So while we're setting up the show, even though all the webcams are in the wrong place, we banter a little bit. And for some reason, we started talking about saunas. And BKB just comes out like, you guys don't have a sauna? What's wrong with you? And Dunk and I think there's like a translation error. We think it's like showers, right? Yes, of course we have showers in our homes. But BKB, literally, that's in his yard. This is BKB's sauna in his yard.
That's what Shrimpy said, not me. Like, Shrimpy said that everyone has it. I just only invited you to my sauna.
I have a really small one. Not that big. That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
But
must be
Jake,
nice.
yes, before and nice meme though. But what about you? Like, how are you now?
Oh man,
How's life?
dude.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, all right, BKB. I'll do it just for you. Real life Stardew Valley is going well, but this weekend we uncovered a nest of bunnies, and that was adventurous. They were very cute. They made cute sounds. I didn't want to mow them, so I had to relocate them to the side of the yard, not the middle of the yard, because my yard was starting to look a little bit trashy. I'm glad I didn't accidentally mow them. That would have been
That would have been really tragic.
That would have been not fun, because they're just like in the ground. There's just like basically a little cover of brush and bunny fur, and the ground was just wiggling around. I'm like, all right, that's weird. Is that like a giant gopher? What's happening? Turns out it was bunnies. Probably the most eventful thing that's happened in real life Stardew Valley. And beyond that, it's just been, cast the tournament on Sunday. We'll talk a little bit about that later. And started playing the Chromie patch this week. Oh, one more exciting thing is that I just bought 3 big tables that are designed for 2 PCs each, so I can have LAN parties at my house. So now I can have like 8 people land up in my downstairs. I'm so excited to do an Overwatch LAN. Cannot wait. I'll have to post pictures of that. But
you think you're gonna make a real tournament?
Probably not a real tournament. Just stuff for fun. Just invite friends over. But who knows?
I see.
Who knows? I might do Smash Brothers stuff here too. So let's talk about DreamHack Tours. DreamHack Tours was, of course, the second qualifier in Europe. All you guys, Schwimpy, Splendor, BKB, you were there this weekend. So let's just open up, kind of similar to last week, and talk about the venue and the experience. What was it like for you guys?
Schwimpy, you can start.
I start?
Yes.
So it was pretty special for me since last year. That was my first LAN ever, DreamHack Tours. I went there with Splendor in Navi, so it was really cool coming back like 1 year after my first LAN to the same place. The venue it's just a venue. I think it's a fine looking place, and I don't know, it was a really good time to meet everyone again.
Splendor, what was the experience like for you? How were you handled? Was the administration nice?
So I guess like the travel there was a bit bad for me, since like I had to take a plane pretty early, then wait 4 hours for my train, and then once we got to the train station, like you had to walk to the hotel, except they booked the wrong hotel, and in the instructions, like I said, like the hotel that was in the instructions, you had to walk to 10 minutes, but it ended up not being our hotel, and ours was like 1 hour away from the venue.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
And like in tour, it's pretty hard to get a cab, since like you cannot call a cab from another place in the street, or at least it didn't work when we tried it. So we ended up getting a cab from the wrong hotel to the right one, and then we had to take a cab every day to get to the venue. That was a bit uncomfortable. And the other thing is that we arrived, and then the next day we had to play already. Usually there's one day with the photo session where you warm up, do all your settings on SSD, that kind of stuff. But in this tournament, there was none. Yeah, apart from that, I think the tournament was fine. Like, we didn't have to play backstage, for which I'm very happy about, because I think backstage was really bad, since you had to use your own headset, and then like there was a lot of people there, a lot of background noise.
The tables,
and the chairs, they were. Yeah, I'm just really happy that we didn't have to play backstage. On stage, like the monitors were good, everything was good apart from it being a bit cold. So like when the games were longer, my hands were freezing. Like after 20-25 minutes, it was getting harder and harder to play. But apart from that, was the rest was fine. Like the stage which we played on, it was like a cinema, like an auditorium or something.
Yeah.
And there was
really nice, super nice.
Yeah, and then the place was packed. Like the French crowd is pretty great. Like they're making a lot of noise. There's a lot of people there that are actively watching, not just there to like sit down because they're tired. Like it will be a DreamHack Sweden.
It was super loud. Like the crowd was insane. It was super good.
That's awesome. What was the? I mean, you said it was like an auditorium for heroes, but obviously there's multiple games. Are they like all right next to each other? Do they have like a few buildings? I'm really curious what the setup was like.
Yeah, they have.
I think. There you go.
You can do it.
Like I think CS:GO was pretty small this year.
Huh.
It was like really bad teams. So I saw like they just put up some shares and what is it called, the white big thing, you know?
Super ghetto, like backstage.
Yeah, CS:GO was super bad until the final day where they took over our cinema or whatever.
Yeah.
I think StarCraft was the main game in France.
That makes sense.
Didn't see the venue though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like the stage.
I went to the actual stage, and like it's similar to ours, except like, you know, in StarCraft you have the 1-player booths. So actually, like they're supposed to be soundproof, but not really, because usually it's just for show. But anyway, they had them on the main stage for StarCraft, and also there's a lot more seating space, and it was not completely full, but it was like 70 or 80% full, and it was like 2.5 times bigger than our stage, like in terms of number of seats.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know they win also at StarCraft for that event.
So I would sum up basically is that the whole traveling and accommodation was kind of an issue for most of the people. For some of accommodation was fine, but there were a lot of issues with that. But the best thing about this event was pretty much like the community and the crowd, you know? Like it was really hyped
That's awesome.
On the stage. But yeah, the backstage was really an issue. Like it's like basically 10 PCs next to each other. They put a wall in between you, and you have to play, and you can hear everything. You like basically sit next to someone else of enemy team, you know.
Yeah, that's not good.
And you just hope it's not Breeze.
And
oh no! Yeah, if you guys don't know, Breeze he gets a little bit excited when he plays the game. He's a little loud, but it's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think backstage is a problem. Might be me. I enjoy playing backstage more.
Really?
I don't know why.
Are you serious?
Yes.
But
I love playing backstage.
I mean, he has Breeze on his team. Of course, he likes it.
But basically, if you can see, if you have if there's a table, like you would have here the mouse, right? And then you don't have a place where to put the hand, because the chairs were old school. They were like old school chairs where you can't put your hands on, and
I
so
don't
then
need that though.
And you have to play like this. Like it was super weird. Like it was super uncomfortable.
I mean, BKB's used to playing like this.
No, I have to play like this. You see, I put my keyboard. I had to put this thingy on the table. I played like a CS:GO player in the backstage. Seriously, because it was the only way. Like at least for me, I don't know. Maybe I have long hands. I don't know. But yeah.
All right. Well, let's shift over and start talking about the actual competition. Obviously, it was just a 2-day event, Friday, Saturday, and I was actually a little surprised by that. I was really hoping for 3 days just to give that grand finals hype, but it seems to be the way DreamHack likes to do it because it was consistent with Austin. So, the wrong button. There we go. Again, these names are all wrong. Apologies for that, but we do have our pretty faces here at least. My Insanity and Te89, formerly known as Navi, did advance out of Group A. Dignitas. I think this is probably one of the bigger stories. I know Bakery tweeted that he was ill. It was hard for him to talk. Impressions on that, guys?
I don't think him being ill is the reason for them losing. But I mean, it's annoying for him for sure. But I think there's more to it. Like we stood behind Dignitas and like they are so quiet when they play. It was like one man speaking. I don't know what's the reason. I don't know why they performed as they did, but I don't think you should blame it on the illness. At least that's my point.
Do you think if they're a naturally quiet team that perhaps playing backstage was more of a struggle for them than it might have been for other teams? Because I know when you're in that environment where you have less isolation, like compared to being on a stage or whatever, if you're on the backstage, there's like people a lot closer, like random shit going on in the area around you. People aren't as respective. Like people don't respect your space as much on backstage. Do you think that might have been a factor in why they lost that set?
It might have affected them, yes. Now that I think about it, I never thought about it that way before.
Mm-hmm.
But it might actually be one, like, they shouldn't lose anyways. Like, there is no...
Yeah, I mean...
It's no excuse for losing, but I think it might affect them, of course, yeah.
In some way. But
actually, the decider match against Take 89, like, the way it was set up backstage was a joke because they were next to each other.
Yeah.
That's what I said previously. Yeah, that's what I said. You have like 10 chairs next to each other, and then they put a wall between the fifth player. But I still don't think it's a... Maybe it has some effect, but still the main issue I think what they have is just they have a new player and that they have communication problem. Like some of their team players don't even talk sometimes, you know. I don't know. At least when I was looking their games, and it's just I don't know. I can't say what are their problems, but obviously I don't think that you should blame that, like Shrimpy said, on illness or like playing on backstage, because everyone had the same problems, you know. It's not like everyone felt super good, you know. In LAN event, a lot of people feel like shit, you know. Like it's just because of the traveling problems or like, I don't know, nerves or some stuff. And like you don't blame on that. And the black stage, we also have to play on backstage, so it's the same. I think it's just their team needs to work now with the new player, with Alex, and I think they will be fine.
So basically, no Johns, Dig just sucked.
No, they don't suck. They just have a new player.
I mean, actually, it's not just that they have a new player. It's just that like they changed their shot caller, which is much bigger than just changing the player.
Yeah, that is actually huge.
I don't know if I just wanted to say that, but yeah, I think Wooby did a lot for Dignitas, and you can see maybe that they have draft issues because Wooby did what I heard. Wooby did a lot for them, so you can see that.
Like they have some other issues as well since Jay switched to Flex, and now like his hero pool is very small because he didn't have enough time to practice enough heroes, and everyone abused it in the tournament actually. And I mean, like for example, Fnatic also did a change, but for them it was much better since. Like Quacknix was their main shot caller. I don't know how much will be shot calling for them right now. Maybe Shrimpy can tell us. But also will be coming in place for, coming into the team like he already has the hero pool for his role, and none of them has to role swap. So that's actually another big issue that Fnatic has right now.
Interesting.
So Splendor, just in general, you guys qualified in the fourth qualifier, right? Or the last one, third?
As always.
As always. But then you go 4-0 in your group, and
yeah, as always.
Fucking crazy. It's true though. It's true. They do it.
Yeah.
They just lump gods.
I mean, we just do it to mess with the seeding for the tournament. To make the groups unbalanced. Everyone hates us for that.
Same, bro. Same.
Fucking troll, eh? I don't know.
All right. Well, let's move over to Group B. Group B was Fnatic and Liquid advancing 4-0 for Fnatic, and then 4-3 for Liquid in terms of game score, and then Evil Murkies and Never Lucky. Well, Never Lucky. I guess they're just never going to be lucky. BKB, that's like you're saying. Was it weird playing against them?
Versus them?
Yeah, because you always say never lucky. Every time you kill someone, you go never lucky.
I don't know. No, it was never lucky. It was okay.
Okay.
I didn't think about it a lot, but yeah.
Okay. So Shrimpy, the new Fnatic. Obviously, you guys have made some changes going into this tournament, and going 4-0 in the group stage. Obviously, you guys were feeling pretty good after day one. Let's talk about the new roster.
So the new roster is, I would say, improved. Even though Athero is a really good player, I think Wobby is like the perfect fit for us. We talk Swedish now, because we're 5 Swedes. He brings a lot, like shot calling, drafting from Dignitas. He has a lot of knowledge and understanding. Him and Quack actually works like really, really good together right now as well, which makes like the team is going so smooth right now because the two brains of the team are working perfectly together. Quacknix is still like the shot caller, the main shot caller, but Wooby, like, since we got Wooby, Wooby has helped Quacknix improve like on certain things that I won't say. But I don't know, the team is going really good right now. We enjoy spending time with each other. We enjoy playing together, and like the synergy is just getting better every day.
You know, one thing I love hearing is when you guys talk about just language and that being a factor in your shot calling and just in general. Is there a sense of comfort being able to speak Swedish? Like, I know Virtus Pro used to speak Russian back in the day, when BKB was MVP. Didn't the team want to speak Russian, or was that right? Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they speak Swedish, we spoke Russian.
Yeah.
It's always easier to I mean, you would always communicate in your language, the one that you know the best.
So would you say that's a big variable, Shrimpy?
I think it helps us a lot. Like at start, it was really weird speaking Swedish while playing. Like we just went over to English sometimes because it was so unusual. Like it didn't make any sense. And then then we say, okay, we do full Swedish now. And we do like the most stupid words ever because we don't know what to say. We try to translate every word from English to Swedish, and it gets fucked up.
It's crazy. You know what, Shimpy? Like every game has like every damn game has like a Swedish team, like, you know, full Swedish team, and in HOTS you're the first one, like a real one, you know. So it's like a nice story, and I think you know each other for a long time, you know. Also, you're finally in the same team.
Before we made Navi, we actually tried this roster out.
Oh, really?
Like, without Quacknix, right?
No, with Quacknix.
Oh, what?
It was right when Quacknix started playing the game. Yeah. Me, Smixy, Quacknix, Wooby, and Breeze was trying to make a team. I don't know, it must have been like a year and a half ago. And now it happened, so that's pretty cool as well.
Yeah, it's like a story.
Dude, there's lots of stories in esports.
Yeah, of course there's a lot of
Just write a book. Okay, well, Fnatic, Liquid both advanced into Group B, so that gives us Te89, which is the former Na'Vi roster, My Insanity, Liquid, and Fnatic as our top four for Europe. Moving into the playoffs, My Insanity versus Liquid. Now, BKB, you knew that this was one of the challenges. You talked about this last week. You're like, it doesn't matter if we can't beat My Insanity or Dig. So, knowing that you're going up against My Insanity, how did you prepare for this?
I mean, we prepared the drafts. We prepared for the all of the teams, you know, at least the top teams. For the other teams, we didn't prepare so much. But versus My Insanity, I don't know. It's just I don't think at the moment we are good enough. We need to do some things in the team, and that's it. I think our drafts, I don't know, My Insanity are super strong now. They play good, they play smart, and they draft good. But I don't know, it's not an excuse that we couldn't beat them, you know. We have to look on our own mistakes and improve. But there has to be a decision made, you know. We need to understand first how to actually improve, how to change the issues we have. And then I think we can try another time. But for now, I don't know. We lost 0-3. There's nothing to talk about. Maybe one game was maybe close. I don't know.
Dunk, did you see these games?
Maybe. Yeah, I did watch most of them. I didn't sit through the whole broadcast live, but I went through the VODs afterwards because, to be honest, that's just a much more viewable experience than with all the breaks.
Yeah, of course. I do the same thing. But what did you think of the games, though? I mean, anything stand out to you?
I really liked MYI's drafts, to be honest. There are some regional differences, but I really liked the way MYI drafted, and I felt like Liquid was drafting a lot of compositions where they would have had to really outplay their opponent to win, I felt like, and their team coordination just wasn't quite there yet. You could see hints of good things and good play on Liquid, but I don't think they've had enough time as a 5-stack to be at the level where those drafts could succeed against what MYI was running.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a story about this series.
Uh-oh.
Before the first game started, I said, Liquid might let us play Illidan and try to counter it because they did it versus Murkies. And Darkmock was, no, Gert lost already too much to my Illidan. He learned his lesson, and then play game 1, bam, Illidan 1-0.
I still think that the draft we played, if we played it correctly on level 10, we would be fine. Like only like you got one level ahead because of the form and Mo, and it was only because of our positioning mistake. But I think if we had the fight that we wanted, even though your draft is probably stronger, like I would say stronger, yeah, it's easier to win with it, and you played it better. But I still think like giving you Illidan was not a problem. We had the draft to win the game.
I mean, you can win the game, but like for us, Illidan is like a super comfortable pick. Like every time we get it,
I know.
Like everyone knows that we already won the game, and everyone is like super confident in that game.
I understand. I still think if we just played it like we should play, it would be. I don't know.
I agree with BKB. Like sometimes it feels like Illidan isn't unbeatable, and like you could build a comp and counter it and beat it. But then like it always seems to me, anytime those drafts get played out, like okay, well the Illidan team just gets to do whatever the hell they want, and the other team has to play really, 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 really good to have a chance of killing Illidan. So like that's the problem with it. I think even though he's not necessarily unbeatable, I think you have to be better than your opponents to beat them when they're playing Illidan.
I mean, I just brought it up because people were saying that like we gave them Illidan, but I brought it up only to say that Illidan is not the reason why you won. You just like played better. You're a better team.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, moving on to the other playoff match, the other semifinal. Fnatic also 3-0'd their opponent Schwimpy, going up against the former Na'Vi boys. Kind of a bit of a grudge match when you consider Tet89 does have a Thero. What was that like for you?
I was pretty scared coming into the games. Seeing them beat Dignitas was scary, since I thought Dignitas would still win the tournament when I came into this. But like, I was pretty confident, since I think they showed everything they had in their pockets to beat Dignitas. They played the Grand Packet Vikings and the
Grimto Vikings.
Grimto, right? So I don't think they had much left, and we have spanned out the Vikings if we needed to, and banned out the Asmo, I think. I don't know if we even played Tomb. I think we did it. So, I mean, we're a better team.
Yeah, you did.
We synergize better with each other. I don't know. There's not much to say. I think it's the same as with Liquid in my eye, really.
Were you surprised by the Chen picks? I mean, in Europe, I know Chen sees a little bit of play. In America, he's more or less extinct. Dunk, did you guys play Chen once in Austin? Or am I crazy?
I don't think so. I don't think we played it a single time in Austin. I know it was an option, and we ended up picking Rexar in at least one draft, but I don't think we ever actually locked in Chen, unless it was against, like, maybe it was in like a backstage game or something if it happened, but I don't remember playing it at all.
Maybe it was this past weekend in the qualifiers. Anyways, where do you guys, I mean, in Europe in general, where do you guys think Chen sits? Because he's honestly a hero that is not really talked about too much with bruisers, and especially with the changes they've made to Anub and Arthas. Like, well, does Chen even have a place anymore?
I think it has some place versus like the non-mobility carries, I guess. But it's basically only Na'Vi and Dignitas playing it now that they got Alex. Like, they overuse it. Other teams pick it situationally, but I think Na'Vi and Dignitas are overusing Chen right now.
Interesting.
I feel the same.
Same.
Okay. All right. Fnatic, final question I have for you in terms of the draft is, Shrimpy, is we had you guys bust out a classic, which is Diablo. And is this something
crazy.
that you guys had prepared, waited for, were anxious to do? Or you just like said, screw it, let's run Diablo and rotate with Tyrande?
So what map was it?
It was Tomb of the Sparta Queen, Kael'thas, Tassadar, Thrall, Diablo, Tyrande.
It was sick. It was so sick.
That comp sounds hot, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that just because Diablo's on fire.
Back in Na'Vi, we used to play Diablo double tank on that map with KT. And then, like, we screamed Dignitas once before before this tournament. Like ever since Kato until this tournament, I think we screamed Dignitas once, and they just wrecked us with Diablo. So we were like, oh, maybe we should pick up some Diablo, and then we tried it some, and then we just played it in the tournament. Like I think we didn't play it more than 5 times in scrims, but we busted it out there, and it worked pretty well.
Yes, it worked indeed.
All right, very cool. Now, last but not least, we do have our grand finals. You two lovely gentlemen were both present. Schwimpy, you're saying, oh God.
1%.
1% core. I saw your tweet. It's the last tweet you sent out when I checked your Twitter profile.
That was, I don't know, it was kind of funny, actually.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't know what happened in the final, I have a spoiler alert here.
Savage.
Carry on.
Congrats, bro.
There it is.
Well deserved. Oh, it looks so Gucci.
It looks good.
Is that a Protoss trophy? Is that like Artanis's like gauntlet?
Could be. But at times it was banned from a tournament, so probably not.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
they actually fixed his bug this patch. I couldn't do it in try mode anymore.
Interesting. What was the bug?
You can get.
You
do
can
it.
say.
Okay, I'll do it. So if you did
The timing.
If you did like an auto and then moved a bit, and then W auto attack move, then you get 1 extra auto attack during the W.
So you get your shield faster.
Yeah, basically your W does 3 strikes instead of 2.
Yes.
Interesting.
I didn't know that.
There were like
I don't think anyone in the knew that.
America
in
sucks,
Europe
man.
in Europe there were 7 heroes, or there were heroes banned or talents banned on the heroes. Like Uther talents were banned, Rhaegar talents were banned, like stuff like that.
Interesting.
Zeratul. Like it was crazy. And
actually, a lot of those bugs are not fixed, like the kerosene bug, the Zeratul bug. Even like the bugs that were mentioned in the patch notes, they're not even fixed. Like the Rhaegar rewind bug, for example. Like you reset your mount with rewind.
We made a custom game and we had to show the Blizzard guys the bugs.
Nice.
It was really funny because they were already playing on stage, and then the off-stage match was delayed for like 3 hours because we were showing them the bugs.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Yes. It was.
Well, I'm glad.
Now, oh, sorry, Jake. I was just going to ask, like, from a competitive standpoint, right? The Artanis bug doesn't sound like it's absolutely game-breaking. Is that something that, since it's like a mechanical execution type thing, should it have been allowed and like just accept that that's how that hero is for this tournament type thing, or do you think it needed to be banned? Because like, if you look at things like Smash, where techs are things that like maybe aren't intended, but it doesn't mean characters get banned, right?
I mean, Artanis bag on level 20 is game changing. Like
with
definitely.
The shield, like permanent
with the shield
basically
talent.
At that point. Yeah,
it
does
it's
sound
like
a little bit broken.
And like you get half a second of the hero a lot. I don't know how many auto attacks he does in the second, one auto attack per second or something, you know. And it could be game changing. But banning Abatur where you can only abuse the bug is just bullshit, I think. And I don't know, a lot of teams prepared him, and then he was announced few days before tournament that he will be banned. I don't know if it was a good idea because, like I said, you can just abuse the bug, but you actually clearly see that you're abusing it, and you can make a penalty for it, you know?
Yeah.
Because it was only his, ultimate issue with teleporting back to base.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of bug, but anyway, like these things just tilt me a bit.
Well, yeah, when you have a hero that you're planning to run, it's a crucial part of your strategy for certain maps, and then that's taken away from you, like without any notice to kind of adjust. When this is your job, that's not good. That's a problem. It really is. I mean, I don't know if there's an answer for this. Like maybe we have to report these bugs before the day of the event kind of deal, like have an open line to Blizzard or something so they can get it fixed, or I don't know.
Actually, none of those bugs are reported, but like it takes a lot of time for Blizzard to sift through all the reports. Like,
Yeah.
so actually, Yove told me about half of those bugs, and he said that like he reported them a long time ago. Like some of those bugs have been in the game forever, like the kerosene and the Zerato bug.
Huh.
Interesting.
So it's not like like it changes some stuff, but I'm more tilted about that. Like they ban a hero that they shouldn't. Like I said, the bag that it's only abusable. Like you clearly see that you use it, so why you ban it?
Right.
There's no one who would actually abuse it if you know that there's penalty for it.
Well,
For me, it just doesn't make sense.
yeah.
Imagine
if, like, I don't know how reproducible it was, but like if it's something where it's like borderline where you could do it on accident, then like you're in an even worse gray area of like, okay, let's say the penalty for doing a bug is instant DQ or like game loss or whatever. Like, okay, what if you accidentally do it? What if you don't accidentally do it, but you say you did? Like, all of those situations suck, so I could see why admins would choose to ban it.
I agree. Okay.
I mean, it's
I
it's
know.
No, but like if they say it, then you're like fine with taking the risk. Like you know the penalty already, and you know
And
if I beat this hero and fuck up, like there's nothing I can
I mean,
do
what
about
if?
You cannot do the bug by mistake. You have to clearly, like, I don't know. It's not like you.
I mean, it is possible to do it by mistake. It's just very unlikely.
Really?
Yeah,
but
so unlikely.
the thing is, but the thing is that, like, for example, it's also possible to miscue a talent, and if you get like rewind on Rhaegar, according to the admins, you lose the game. And
Yeah.
actually,
that's
the
absurd.
Hate actually got rewind on Rhaegar, but they lost the game anyway. Like, nothing to put them out.
That
Yeah,
was
take-
6% on our core.
That's such
Like
a
they
big
let-
nerf to Rhaegar. Like
Yeah.
not being able to get rewind.
Yeah, that's huge.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
Just because you can
And those-
rewind your mount form to instantly just dog it up.
Because it works with level 6. No, it's
double-
because
double
of level
feral.
level 16 tel and 5% of HP. And you
see.
get like them. Yeah, you see, that's the issue. But like, there was like Uther ban as like there were like 7 heroes bugged out. I don't know, like, it's crazy.
I mean, there are probably many more, but we still don't know what the bugs are,
Yeah.
how to reproduce them.
Well,
That's actually, I don't know what we should do about this. Maybe we should just do it like the Koreans. We don't say anything about the bugs and we just abuse them until people find out.
Until they
Like,
get
for example,
on camera.
I think it's the right way, but
Like,
it all
for
started
example-
with Abatur. It all started with Abatur, but
Yeah, it's
someone told the Abatur bug, and I don't know. Like,
in my opinion, like,
That
the only
was
thing that
me.
should have been banned. Yeah, I think the only thing that should have been banned from this tournament was Arthas, because like you eventually use the bug whether you want it or not. It will just happen.
Yeah.
And then some people will abuse it for sure, and it actually plays large. Like it gives you a big advantage when you're pushing and doing camps and team fights even.
Interesting.
no.
Oh,
But I before we end this discussion, like, actually, I was thinking about the bugs. Like, those are some nice mechanical small thingies that actually makes it more fun, you know? Like, when you can abuse it in some way. Maybe they should maybe change the bugs as an actual mechanical thingy, you know, talents or some stuff. Because some stuff are like really cool, you know?
I mean, I'm
Like
with
with-
you on that logic, Dunk, in the sense that, I mean, obviously I come from Melee, and, you know,
Okay,
having Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee, there's all kinds of issues in the game that have made the game competitive, right? The wave dashing, I'm sure you guys, if you've ever watched Smash, you know what wave dashing is. It's when the character slides across the ground. That's a bug.
That's what I'm exactly saying.
Yeah.
Like, some things are actually cool. The bugs are, some of them are like nice, that are mechanical thingies that you have to click, you know, like the Karazim bug Splendor, right? Like, you have to time perfectly, you know, to do the bug extra damage thingy, you know, and that's something like cool about it.
I mean, actually, I don't know if the melee logic applies because, like, does melee get patched?
No.
Jay?
No, does Melee get patched? No. The Melee is a console game that came out like 16 years
so-
ago.
So I think like the logic doesn't work like that because like you can look at StarCraft 1 and they had the same kind of bugs where like the mid-lace micro and like hold position lurkers, you know, that like there's some bugs, but everyone knows about them because
Right.
like everyone has played the games for years.
But being
so they're
able
okay
to mute a
with it.
box really well was like, you know,
But imagine, but of course, but let's say that like we're playing tournaments for a lot of money or something, and then I'm abusing some bugs, but no one else knows about them. Like for example, my team like knows all the bugs in the game, and we are abusing them as much as we can, but other people don't realize what we're doing, and then like it's actually pretty unfair. I think
it's unfair.
Like if everyone knows about the bugs, then and everyone can abuse them, then it's probably fine.
Hey,
exactly. If everyone knows them and everyone can abuse them, then it's completely fair for the tournament. You should have banned the hero. If the hero is that OP with the bug, then you just ban it and you play out the draft. I think that's the way it should be.
Ooh.
And maybe like Arthas, yeah, like if it's like. No, like even Arthas should be allowed. So he's just broken or you ban it. I don't know.
I guess where I'm coming from is I'm not necessarily. I'm not saying I want bugs, but I like things that like add flavor. So like for example, the whole tracer like active reload that like is basically like a skill that makes tracer do more damage by just being mechanically good. I would like more things like that in the game. I think that would be really exciting, and things that allow players to express themselves in a way a little bit more individually on the hero could be cool.
Yeah.
But okay, well, in the end, I think we all know the result. My Insanity and Dignitas will once again be the two teams from Europe represented at Worlds, which will be happening at DreamHack Summer, which is June, the end of June, if I'm not mistaken. And DreamHack Summer, of course, that'll have two teams from North America, but Naventic has qualified, and we will be having the next qualifier for that June 4th, 5th, I think it is. That's going to be happening in Burbank. And tickets are on sale for that already. But congrats so much, Splendor, on once again, upsetting everyone. Going into Korea, Zoya called you guys patch Zergs, and I'm just going to throw Zoya under the bus, saying these guys are just patch Zergs. They're not going to do anything. And I don't think anybody could ever take credit away from My Insanity at this point, because you guys have done it back to back. But Shrimpy, you guys making it to the finals with a newish roster that you said a year and a half ago you guys tried out. It didn't work. I'm very hopeful to see what you guys can do with the new Fnatic roster.
Yeah, I think we have a good chance at qualifying for BlizzCon. I think, like right now, I believe we will qualify for BlizzCon if this continues.
Sweet, man.
So,
good luck with that, man.
Thank you.
No.
You're gonna have to get through BKB.
That's
for
what I
that
think. It's no problem.
Oh.
I mean,
it's easy for Shrimpy.
That's hard to say.
No, it's fair. Just good luck. Like,
yeah,
you too.
Okay. Apparently, tickets are sold out for the North America LAN event. So if you want to attend, apparently everyone has already bought all the tickets up. So that's cool. I didn't expect it to be sold out this quickly. Sweet. Well, let's move on and talk about the Chromie patch. It just hit yesterday. We talked a little bit about her because the PTR was live last week, but obviously we haven't got to talk to Shrimpy and Splendor. Splendor, we'll start with you. I mean, I know you're a sport player, but what do you think about Chromie?
Yeah, so like out of all the games I played on the Chromie patch, I saw her like once or twice, and she felt pretty weak. Like she has some problems. Firstly, her wave clear is pretty bad. Like her Q doesn't hit creeps. She's not good for sieging. The W is pretty good, but it has very long cooldown. So like on master rotate, you can't use it on every wave. And also, it's your main source of damage. I think actually, like in the current meta, it will be pretty hard to pick her because like teams are starting to do more and more dive comps, especially with the buffs to like Tyrio and Anub.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if she will be played that much. We will see.
Okay.
I mean, she's like also the win rate is pretty bad. If you know, 31? Like it's like 31%, and but I mean, it obviously reflects to people like not knowing how to place her, in the Hero League or at the actual any game like quick match, or it doesn't matter. But I think it's also like a really high skill cap hero. If you don't hit your spells, you're useless. Like you don't do anything. Your Rife Clear, like Splendor said, is not even good. I think definitely the Q should hit minions as well. Like it
maybe for like reduce damage or something, and then it doesn't.
Yeah, so it helps out. and like it's a high skill cap hero, and like Splendor said as well. And I don't know, like even in Hero League, there's a lot of dive heroes, and like in competitive scene, I don't know, like it's a scary place for her, you know, in the Nexus at the moment. So I don't know, too many Zeratul, Greymans, and like dive warriors and stuff. It's basically what Splendor said. So yeah.
And
I mean, she has no escape.
Contribute to mercenary stuff. Like, she can't help on bosses. She can't help on immortal races on BOE. Like, she's literally useless at that stuff, and that's really bad for a hero. So that's really frustrating. That was actually the biggest takeaway for me. Like, the difference between seeing her and thinking how good she was and then actually playing her, the biggest frustration is not being able to interact with, like, mercenaries effectively and, like, bosses and stuff like that.
I think the hero is shit. Like, it has so many weird things. Like the Q, it has channel time and it does the same damage as Li Ming. It does less if Li Ming has Seeker, and like the trait ability, what does it do? Like, you get your talent one level ahead.
Yeah,
like yours
is really bad.
But if your team is 12 and their team is 13, like, it won't do anything. Why would you, like, it doesn't do anything. It's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like Li Ming is just better in every way. It does more damage on like structures, more damage on objectives. The trait is reset on your spells, and like I don't know why we would ever pick Chromie over.
Chromie is like a fixed version of Li Ming, in my opinion. Like, Chromie is like what an actual remade should be, and Li Ming is like the disgusting, we made a mistake, here's our super nuclear power baby that's like way OP. And Chromie's like what a mage should be like.
I think, I don't know, I thought about it. She might be in a would be ridiculously OP, but I think her passive should be something with the time as well, that you have like 60-second cooldown, active passive, that you reset your abilities like instantly.
Oh, like like a free rewind essentially?
Yeah, like a free rewind every 60 seconds, you know? Because if she really looks like as weak as it's like with the win rate 31%, then something like that could fix it. Because I don't know, like it will help it will help definitely clear big waves. Like I don't know, like 12 creeps with warrior camp. Like I played, the scenario. I saw her defending the camps and 12 minions. It was not possible. And maybe I don't know, like also rewind could help her with the damage wise. And it's also not so hard to dodge her abilities if there's no stun lock for the enemies, Like, there's some heroes that enable her, that have high CC, but without CC, like, you should never get hit by her. It's really easy to dodge, I think.
So, I mean,
I don't know.
I think the win rate, a big part of that is just, like you said, it's a massive, massive wind-up for the Q. Do you think that she would become viable, too good, whatever, if they lowered that channel to say half a second versus a second?
I think they have to lower it and change the
make it instant.
Make it instant.
Make it instant. Yeah.
So basically, I played versus a dive comp today, or not dive comp, but they stuck on me, and if I want to do any sort of return damage, I have to stand still and just take it in my face.
Yeah.
Like if you're
someone else,
you have a stun, you have a shield, you have a bomb that ticks. Phoenix, I don't know. If you're leaving, you have a blink, instant spells. I don't know. Like, Chromie is just really bad design, in my opinion.
Yeah. Or maybe make like a Q channel thingy that the longer you chant, the more damage you do, and actually make it that the long channel could be really high damage. Something like that.
That could be good as well. Yeah.
Like something like that. I don't know. It just feels like when they make some of the heroes, they're too lazy or something. I also think the rewind thingy would be really sick, and it makes sense because it's Chromie, right? Like I don't know. I don't know. The rewind would be actually perfect for her. Like it will make her OP in some situations.
For sure.
Make like 2-minute cooldown. I don't know.
But I think what you said about the charging it up is actually brilliant, because like you think about it, what does she struggle with? Having someone immediately on her, being able to throw out a quick Q at point blank that's going to do the same damage is great. But if you charge it, and the primary benefit is to be able to shoot it further, let's say, that's the only time you're going to be doing that is over the wall, right? When you're trying to ambush someone, you're trying to poke someone that's tapping well. That's a big part of the hero's design. But when you're in lane, having to charge it, that's like, it's scary. The number of people I see die because they Q, just because it makes them so vulnerable, is like astounding. Like, it happens all the time. Someone Qs and then someone's immediately on them. They're dead. Like, Q is like, it's like an opening. Anub'arak's just like, woohoo! I get a free snack. Gnomes are on the menu, boys, and she's dead. And that's a cool idea.
Like Ezlo laser, but make the damage the same. Like make a big damage because it's still
I agree.
Not so easy to hit. But I like the long range poke, but they really need to do something. Shrimpy, you need your light on.
I know you're in like the laundry room, but
I'm back. Like I tried to watch a replay that I played today. Like I channeled my Q with Chromie, and I see the Leaming spells coming towards me, and I'm like, okay, I just got one shot. Like
yeah,
as soon as I started channeling it, he just throws his spells, and I'm dead.
Like her range isn't actually that good until the 13 talent either, which was odd to me. Like I played her and I expected her to feel like her range was really long, and then the 13 talent makes it insane. But like before the 13 talent, she has like shorter range than Li Ming, I feel like, which shouldn't be the case given how much more difficult her skill shots are.
And she can't even see structures like Li Ming.
Yeah. I mean, I like Chromie. I think she's fun, and I think she's like a good design. Like I think she's way healthier for the game than Li Ming, for example, but I don't think that means that she's like going to be like, I don't really think she can be played in competitive right now. I'm not sure though. Maybe some cheesiness as like a late pick to blow people up on a stun chain or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, the E, it's like, okay, so the time trap thing is like powerful technically, but I see so many situations where like putting your enemy in stasis is actually really terrible for your team.
Yeah. Why,
it's so bad.
Why not make a route?
I mean, if it could have just been a route or a stun, a stun, like
a freeze,
it would be like so good. It would be so good if it was a stun. But like as stasis, I see it all the time where like someone will walk into stasis and like actually dodge damage, or like someone will hit the stasis and like you can't target them during it. They just get like they're like a tracer or a Zeratul, so they just blink out afterwards. And it's like, oh, okay,
or
cool.
Their allies rotate during that 2 seconds and collapse and kill you. It's like,
dude, it happened to me when there was a trap. We waited for him to go into the trap. He goes in, and we wait the whole duration, and then like we get flanked and just destroyed. Like there was basically Sunder onto 3 of us. That I don't remember. It was Arthas who stepped in, and we got sundered into Arthas, who was in stasis. And we were all rooted with his E. Like it was the perfect combo or something. And it was only because of the stasis.
Yeah.
Just make her a freeze. Like make the character go like a sand freeze, and he stands still. You can target him, and like first damage will stop the stun. What you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good idea.
Sleep. Make it like
Bane
this. Like Bane. If you touch
they could also make it. They could also make it so that you can remove the status.
No. So
just
Chromie could remove it. You mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like she could press E again to drop the status. I think that would actually.
Maybe. That would be cool. But I think having sleep allows you to make more important decisions. Or you go for the target, or you let him like be still for 2 seconds and go for the team. You know, it makes more. I don't know.
No, I agree with
more
you.
Decision making.
Stasis
it's also like the sleep is also much stronger, and it's also a mechanic that doesn't exist in the game yet. So like it makes the game more complicated.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to like. I think if you put Chromie in the game like a year ago, she would be really good. But now that the power creep, like Tracer is in the game, and like Li Ming and like Zul, I feel like the characters are just way more powerful. Like Chromie's design feels like she was designed for alpha heroes, not like what heroes has power creeped into in the last 6 months.
I don't know. I still think they really have to change the passive rotate or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Like it's just so terrible. It doesn't do anything. Like the only situation I see is like
level 9.
Yeah, that might be it, but you won't fight against level 10 anyways. But like if she lanes, it would actually be fine. because you get an advantage in your lane.
No, I mean level 9
but
versus level 9.
Oh yeah, I guess. But
It's good. Like the slow fucks up a lot, like melees and stuff, and it's quite huge spell, you know.
I guess
You
so.
can, dude, on Sky Temple, if you're 9 versus 9, you put the sand thingy and block the entrance, and if you keep it for a long time, they cannot walk
really powerful slow,
because it has such a powerful slow, and then you keep watching. Like you can make plays with that, but it's only level 9, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it has enough value, like overall.
I think it for the hero, I agree. Yeah, but still, like if you get there, it's really helpful. Definitely.
Yeah, 9 versus 9 can be really strong, but
it
won't happen that often. I think.
Yeah, I mean, if you have Chromie on your team, you're probably 9 against 10.
But you know, like if you have level 9 versus level 9, and some maps are damn snowbally, and if you win the fight because of a single Chromie, it can be, you know, high risk, high reward.
I think
high risk, high reward.
Yeah, the only time her thing is good is like that. Really is like Sky Temple, Bot Shrine. Also, like I feel like Infernal sometimes end up at the 9/9 timing with the second shrine, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe
it can happen on Curse as well, but
tributes,
yeah. It just seems rare. Like it's like a really cool idea, and I love the design. Like I think it's really clever and it's interesting, but I just don't think it's good enough. So,
like you said, there's just when you consider the fact that she can affect, you know, immortals, things like that. There's maps where she's straight up unplayable.
Yeah,
like, and I don't think that's a huge issue. But it's just like looking at that, it's like, you know, it's already just like, all right, well, she can't see structures. She has less value there. She has no lane clear. Something that Li Ming struggles with, but Li Ming's still going to be better for. You'd never pick her on shrines. Like, maybe you would. I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see. Chromie is definitely not the mega power creep OP hero that we've been seeing from the last few launches. She's not a Li Ming.
Or Azul,
at all.
But at the same time, I think that's a good thing. Like those kits it's really obvious like how you play them, I feel like, and Chromie I think will take work to unlock her potential. So while I do agree she's a little undertuned right now, I think that Chromie could be good with just some slight tweaks. Like you don't need to go insane.
And the other thing I want to just like commend about Chromie is the fact that when you see somebody just landing all of his Qs, you're going to be like, this guy is a god. Like, that's something where you can just look and, like, see somebody that's actually really gotten good with that delay.
Yeah.
And, like, appreciate it if somebody's truly talented at it.
That's what the game needs, these type of heroes. But, like, what I'm worried about is that the Blizzard are, like, I don't know, I don't want to do like fire shots on them, but I think they're kind of lazy with the heroes. Like I even read the comments on the Twitch, right? And the people come up with ideas that are actually quite good, and it took for them 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it's lazy. I just think their design is a little bit more focused around like aesthetics than gameplay.
Oh, come on!
The design is they like put a lot of emphasis on the elegance of the design. Like you can make really convoluted skills that are cool and they're fun to read, but if you fill a game with them, they don't necessarily make an interesting and engaging gameplay experience.
Really?
So it's really interesting. Like designing something in your head or on paper compared to like actually putting it in a game is way different.
Okay, but like that, even maybe I don't know. I mean, I just think they could do so much more with her.
You got to realize that a lot of these characters have like a background, a story, and basically expectations based on these former iterations of them. And they're in a way, I would imagine they're bound to an extent. Like Medivh, they said they tried making him a support. Like Medivh, they toyed around with abilities that were more supporty, but it just doesn't make sense to make Medivh a healer. It just doesn't make sense. And at the end, they've landed on a really interesting specialist version where his kit is insane. He's got super powerful abilities, but they're like the spectrum is all over the place, and that's badass. But like, could you imagine Medivh being a healer, like based on what they've designed? Or if you know Medivh's history and where he lands, would you ever think, hey, they put Medivh in the game, he's a healer? That's weird.
I mean, I understand, but like, I'm not saying that they completely changed the idea, you know? Like, I'm just saying that I could still like think something more interesting. I'll say like that. I'll say straight. With this hero, you could, with all the time and her lore, right?
Right.
With the time thing, like you could come up with a lot of good stuff. Like even having the same rewind as passive, because she is the time thingy, you know, with the sand and stuff.
Yeah.
Like even these things, you know.
Actually, when I mentioned healers, like I think Blizzard is doing a really bad job with healers. Like, if you look at the last hero that was released, Medic, it's like horrible to play. Every time you use a spell, you stun yourself. It feels very bad. It feels like you can lose the game in 1 second. There's no play you can make. I mean, even if you make it, it's not flashy. Like, it's just terrible. And then, like, they had the Rhaegar rework, which made him, like, fun to play. And then, like, they took away the self-ancestral, so now you have to play really passive. So, like, Rhaegar is a new Medic, basically, because you can also lose the game in 1 second in late game.
I miss self-ancestral so much. Like, they're just so less fun.
Yeah.
Like right now, all the healers, like all of them are super. I guess like Kerasim is the only playable healer, and then everything else is like super bad. Like Ultra is okay, but I think he's like undertuned and situational because of that.
Interesting. Yeah, we haven't seen a healer in 8 months?
I'm not even sure whether we should count Medic because she gets very little play. And honestly, I think she's a really bad hero.
Like that's another example, you know. Like he's a support player, and he can tell the heroes that are fun to play, and like they really need to step up. Like at least the ideas, the heroes, the mechanics are awesome, you know. For the most of the new heroes, you know, Lunara, Poison, Chromie, new mechanic, long range poke, you know. But make the abilities and the interaction between the abilities and the gameplay a lot more fun, a lot more complex, are a lot more rewarding. I don't know. And the same goes with supports. I would say that Dota 2 is the perfect case of supports. You have supports that like can control the jungle, which you could do something funny with supports, with the mercenaries, or like I don't know, supports that have like high, really hard CC, you know. So you can make plays and carry also with supports. Because in Hero League, playing support is not rewarding at all.
Yeah, I agree completely with both of you. I
Medivh
could go on a rant for years about it, but like I'm not going to. I agree.
I know,
I've made that known before.
Yeah, that would be a whole huge discussion if we go on the what we need to do supports. But we should definitely do that again soon, just because it feels like, especially with Medivh coming out, Medivh is kind of like tripping into that realm.
Medivh is what a support should be.
Right. He's looking in the right direction. So I'd like around Medivh's launch, we will definitely do a big roundtable discussion with a bunch of support players and talk about, you know, why Medivh's great and what else could be done to make the support role more interesting.
I mean, I think you should do it with the flex players because the support players will never get to play Medivh. He has no healing.
Well, that's part of the discussion. I mean, well, we'll get there. Let's continue on with this patch. So obviously, we're not gonna read every little snippet. We're just gonna go for the juicy stuff. And you know, really, the two heroes that saw big changes and improvements, I think a lot of people are excited for, are Arthas and Anub'arak. So let's actually just start with Arthas. BKB, what do you think about Arthas?
Yeah.
I saw you play him on stream today.
Yeah, I think he's quite good. He can go, like, his warrior. Arthas as a warrior is a bit worse than before, because like you don't have relentless and stuff, you know. Like you have to actually take level 7 talent, and it's an active ability. Like he's more like of a bruiser, and I think he has a good place now in competitive. He can be like hard CC monster. It's insane. You can have like 5-6 second roots, you know, if you go like level 1 talent with the cooldown reduction, and 16 you go for the E ability that roots the targets after short duration. Like you can actually W, E, root, and then W again, and the target will be rooted for 5 seconds or something. It's crazy. Sometimes I feel my roots are useless because there's no follow-up, because I have all the time my W like ready to use, you know. Like today, we played Team League, and I rooted every third second, and there was no follow-ups because my team just have cooldowns, And it's like sometimes I feel actually it's too much of roots that don't give you a lot. The cooldown reduction doesn't have such a high value. Actually, that's how I feel.
So maybe you would go for Rockmore Feeds, the double. I mean, that was always the classic back in the day. If you're going more of a bruiser, having, especially if you go Devastation at 4, or excuse me, 7.
Yeah.
Or where is
I don't know. I tried the Q build. It was quite good. If I'm like 10% HP, I heal up to half HP instantly. Almost,
They removed Devastation as a talent?
On level, yeah.
Wow.
You mean the passive?
The additional damage on his D. Devastation used to be a talent, if I'm not crazy.
I think it got moved or renamed or something.
Oh,
there's still a talent that increases your D, but...
It's
a level quest talent. Gives you mana as well.
Level 1.
They merged the talents.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you probably won't block most of the time.
You think so? Just because...
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the enemy team heroes, but... For Bruiser, it's very good to have block. Like, it makes a big difference, especially like if you're laning at the start. Block is super huge.
And against Tracer.
But no one plays Tracer.
Rip the dream. Okay, so Arthas, where is he going to sit in the draft in your guys' opinions? I mean, obviously he's got a bit of a tune-up. His builds are a little bit different. Is he super flexible to the point where you're going to want him in just about every comp? Is he a lone warrior? Schwimpy, I mean, have you played him at all yourself? I know you're not a warrior player, but...
No, I didn't play him, but I don't know. Like, if he's more of a bruiser, less of a warrior, I'm not sure how he will fit in now. Like, I can't tell from just reading the notes, and we haven't scrimmed yet, so...
Okay.
I have no clue.
BKB, where do you think he'll land?
I think he'll be tier 2 on the top, because you can still play him as a warrior, just you need the second warrior, and he's really good as a bruiser. I think he'll be valuable than Troll, than Sonya, than any melee assassin, because he can still do the damage and be a CC. I think he will bring back the double warrior, triple warrior meta. Maybe not triple, but definitely double warrior. You'll see. He paired him with the Muradin and 2 strong double backliners. It's gonna be retarded. There's too much CC control, sustain, and also I think he will be, because of him being he also can go 2 different builds. He can adapt to a lot of things, and he enables some of the heroes, and I think he will be tier 2 top or something.
His traits, all of his talents seem really good. Splendor, where do you think he'll land?
It's hard to say, but I'm not even sure that he's that good, because he lost his Relentless and Hardened Shield, which was before he got very strong. After 13 and after 20, he got very big power spikes, and his weakness was mostly that tanks are pretty easy to kill now after the skilling changes last year, and it's very easy to get one shot as a tank. But with Arthas, after 13 and 20, it gets much harder. And now, I think
don't play him as warrior.
I think he'll have this. Well, yes, but you can also play Troll or something, and then.
Yeah. Okay. So he lost Hardened Shield, but anti-magic shell sounds downright insane.
No, so anti-magic shell is for sure much worse than Hardened Shield, and not to mention that his other ability in 7-9 is level 7, which is kind of like a mini Hardened Shield.
Icebound.
I thought it would be pretty OP when I saw the patch notes, but I think you actually should go for the Death Core, because the Death Core is just it's too strong right now. It heals you for too much. It's like your Troll basically. Every Q, and if you take the coil on 4 and 7, you're healing yourself quite a lot, so you can stay much longer in the fights. So I think the Death Core build is 16. I think the Death Core build for at least 4 and 7 is the best right now. And without the CC reduction and from level 7, he has the same problem as the old Arthas has. But maybe it's fine. BKB says, you can play it as a bruiser. You don't face check, you don't go with your tank. You kind of flank a bit. Don't go next to their tank.
Yeah, exactly. but you can still play him as a warrior with level 7 talent, or you can play him as like a, I don't know, this semi-ranged warrior with the Q poke, or like you go in, do some damage, get out, Q up. Like if you take especially 16, if you go in and you are sure that you're not gonna die versus some composition, you can trade your damage, go out, Q up, and you'll deal more damage, and you'll heal up half HP with 16 talent, because you get like 10% more damage for every, like, what was the, I don't know.
I think it's 10% damage for every 20% health you're missing, or is it 10% for 10%?
I'll check it. And I think I dealt so much damage. It was like 30% HP, I think, and I healed up a lot. So it's basically 10 more damage for each 10% of life you're missing, and you heal up the same amount. So basically, if you're like 20% HP or 30, like you'll do 70% more damage and heal 70% more of that.
That's insane.
And yeah, like it's quite a lot. Like you can heal up 1/3 for sure.
Wow.
I agree with the Hardened Shield nerf though. Like I think Harden was way stronger than the new one.
Well, depends. If you click on the right time and you get the heal out, sometimes with the Harden is that you're getting CC'd like suddenly, or like let's say that you're already fight low HP and you didn't pop your Harden because you wanted to wait, and the anti-magic thingy, like you can actually heal up with it to full HP if you click it at the right time. Because it doesn't deal damage.
But I think it has the same problems though.
Yeah, competitive level, yeah, I guess so. But still, like with KT and stuff, like with the bombs and stuff, I don't know. Like sometimes I see value more than Harden, but I agree. I agree. Harden is still better.
Dunk. Where do you think he'll land?
Arthas?
Yeah.
I think he's a really, really good bruiser / second warrior pick. I don't think you ever want to play him as solo warrior right now.
Yeah.
So pretty much.
But I think that's fine. I think that's a good place for him, and I think he's cool.
So he's a Sonya Thrall tier type hero, is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good against different things though, which is healthy. Like Sonya is really good against some things, Thrall's really good against some things, and I think Arthas is different enough so that even though he fits the same role, he'll probably be better against some things than they are. Like Sonya's really good against chain CC because like you can't realistically chain CC her enough through like the relentless post 10 and stuff like that. I feel like, and it's hard to body block her and whirlwind out and shit. And like Arthas, I feel like will be bad against chain CC and blow up because he doesn't have the tools to deal with that. But he will wreck like sustained damage mages like Li Ming, I feel like. So.
Even warriors, right? Like there's like even Thrall and stuff. Like so, if you get like 3 melees in an enemy team, you get so much value out of him.
Yeah.
Like you can control the fight so good. Like, and if your team is paired with like Li Ming or like KT, and like I played one game with Jaina, and it worked out pretty good actually with Ring of Frost and her damage. Because like I said, you go on 16 the root thingy. Mm-hmm. And you're like, it's root after root, and then she gets free damage all the time. Like she doesn't have to even use abilities before they get rooted, because eventually, I'm gonna be sticking onto them, so they'll get rooted anyway, because they're 3 melees. If I stick with my carry and they keep going in, they'll stay still for some time, 100%, because you can't dodge the E, you know. So
sounds like he's gonna be pretty good with like Li Ming. Like you mentioned, a little bit map dependent. He doesn't have the same kind of race as Thrall or Sonya on Battlefield, but he's got great rotations on a map like Dragonshire. So he'll definitely be entering the meta. That's what I've gathered with this.
Yeah,
that is good
for sure.
That is good. All right, let's move on to Anub'arak. Anub'arak also received a nice bit of love in this patch. I think a lot of people are saying Arthas in general is stronger than Anub. Anub is a little bit more niche. But one thing Anub, when Anub did exist in the meta, brought in was a lot of dive and dive comps. And this is a ambush hero. This is a hero that is not a primary tank. Can be a good response to locking out certain supports just with Cocoon. Cocoon's always had its place for, versus Tranquility, whatever. Where do you guys think the new Anub will go? Like, what do you guys think of the changes they've made in general? BK, let's start with you.
I think he got tank here, and that's the one of the only differences that I feel. I mean, I'll say this, that if we see Anub'arak in meta now, if we see him, it's mostly because that people are gonna start realizing how broken is Cocoon. I think you can actually make a lot of things with that ult, and I think it's quite underrated. But he got tank here, and that's what he needed, and his damage is not.
Yeah, he got a bit more mobility too, and less cooldown
as well. This 30% movement speed feels really good on him. If enemies don't have like a lot of CC, like with the 30% movement speed, you can easily escape a fight if you need it. You know, if you need to like get some heals or something. And I think like some of his talents are quite good, but I don't know. Like I still think that the best thing about him is the cocoon. But he still feels the same, just a bit tankier and has a higher mobility because of that specific talent. But yeah, I don't know. I still think we'll see a lot more Arthas than Anub'arak.
Trippy?
But yeah.
I don't know, I've always loved Anub. Like, Anub is a great hero. I love the mechanics of Anub. I love the cocoon. It's probably the best spell in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I just love the hero so much, and like one issue was like one poke and Anub is really low. But with him being a bit tankier, I think we will definitely see play. And I really hope that he will come back, because I don't know, the cocoon is so strong. Like, it's super strong. I think Anub was fine before, but I think people will experiment and actually try to learn playing with him now, which will make him viable, I think.
I also think, like you said, he was really weak to poke before, and Dampen Magic at level 1 makes him so much more poke resilient that it's like an enormous buff. Like, that talent is insane for a level 1 talent. It's so powerful. So, like, just getting that, and it's something that, like, counters what his biggest weakness was before, is, like, a huge buff. Like, even if they just added that, I feel like he probably would have started to see some niche play. So, like, adding like 30% more value to his shield, HPS, and like all that other stuff at the same time, I think he's actually going to be really, really good. And I like that because he's fun and skillful, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I completely forgot to mention, like, one of the reasons why he is actually now like quite good is because of the dampened magic. Like, I played versus Lily on level 1. I mean, it's level 1, but still, like, I jumped on Li Ming and she did like semi-ranged, like when she went back, she did semi-ranged full skills on me, you know, Q and W, and I didn't, like, it took from me only like 3% of my HP. Like, there was no damage, like, and I don't know if I timed my shield or not, but like there was no damage, you know. And if they have like Li Ming and something else that does, like, I don't know, maybe Zagara, I don't know, something, but like basically you can actually play him versus some specific heroes that don't do damage to him because of the dampen magic. And he has mobility, not like Tychus, you know, and those are the only heroes that have the dampen magic for warriors.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a reason why we see Anub'arak, because he has mobility. He's like better version of Tychus with dampen magic.
I think he.
If you see what I'm saying,
yeah. I get you. Yeah.
Does he enable like just more dive play in general? Are we gonna see a noob Tyrael? Are we gonna see other things similar to that? Like, what do you guys?
So I actually saw Noob Tyrael in Gold League finals, like before the patch, which is like, it makes you question why they will buff a noob when he was still a niche pick, and he was getting more and more popular because, like, especially with the Asians, like a lot of teams, they're trying to let the enemy team pick Kyotas and then go into a dive comp because he can't really do much about it. And with an Tyrael, for example, it's a very disgusting combo because you web someone and then you sank on top of him when the web is out, and then there's no way he gets saved. Like, there is only maybe Divine Shield, but even then you can probably block him, and most of the time you don't pick the dive comp in the Divine Shield.
Yeah.
And the buff is pretty huge. I think he'll be really heavily contested in Sweden.
Really?
I agree. Like, one thing we used to do in Navi was, like, if they had solo tank, we just cocoon the tank and go backline. It was pretty fun. We used to play Anub a lot, and I think, like, those kind of styles will maybe come back with Anub being viable again. I don't know.
Yes, so actually what Easter played was Tyrio, Noop, Greymane, Xu was their comp. So it's only Milis. And they just
Oh my god.
They just swipe someone. Yeah, like I said, they just swipe Sunk and then kill someone.
Wow.
And you can do nothing. Even if you have a gust, it doesn't work if you're in sanctification.
It's like one of the old Navi strats.
Oh, the good old days in Prague.
Yeah.
Oh god, yes, those good days.
That was a funny bet. Cool. Well, that's good to hear. It's good to hear that these two hero tweaks are likely going to have a profound impact on the meta. Obviously, we're going to see that in the tournament this weekend, which is the final qualifier for LA or for Los Angeles, the next regional here in North America. It'll be fun to see, what teams are able to do with these heroes. Chromie won't be in play. Tracer is in play. Tracer hasn't seen any play in North America. While she's on the table here and we have everyone. Shwimpy, what do you think about Tracer yourself?
I think she's actually fine. I think she's in a pretty good spot right now. What I think people are trying to do is dive the backline way too much. Like, she actually does a fair amount of damage to the tanks if she sits on them. And I just feel people are playing her wrong. And I suck at Tracer. I'm really bad. If anyone wants to give me stream today, I tried the first minutes, then I gave up.
Were you on Kaldor's team that game?
Yes.
I was Tracer. I died 11 times.
You got wrecked.
So
it's because of my Arthas.
There are some good Tracers in Europe, and I think they are doing fine with her. I just think people are way too inexperienced with the hero right now. They try to go way too much backline just because she has the mobility available. That's what I think.
Cool. And actually, I just realized, Dunk, I didn't get your opinions on Anub, but is Calf excited for Anub? I mean, I know you're not excited for Anub.
Actually, I really like Anub. I have a whole ton of Anub. He was one of my first master skins, actually, after the reset, because he was one of my favorite heroes to play. I love him for fun, and Cap's really excited. But I feel like I chimed in enough on the balance discussion and stuff.
Yeah,
talking about Tampa Magic and stuff like that. So yeah, I like him, and I like what he does to team comps. I think he makes a fun dynamic. Try to survive the Anub diving you. Sometimes it can feel unfair for those range players, but I think it makes a good viewing experience, and it's an interesting tug of war element. It's more fun than watching Chainstone blow up one person, right? Because he doesn't really do that, but he does dive and pressure in a really fun way.
Yeah, that's true. All right, well, moving on. Let's talk about supports. Yay! We have a new playable support. Probably not. Lily. Lily now has Cleanse. She now has Cleanse. Shake It Off has been moved to level 16, but the cooldown is down to 10 seconds. Safety Sprint now provides movement speed bonus regardless of Lily's remaining health. And then Herbal Cleanse, which was at level 7, the pseudo cleanse she had, has been removed. Now, before we get to Duncan Splendor and everyone, Bakery was playing her on your stream, BKB, and basically just saying, this hero is still trash.
Yeah, I mean, you still can't target the Qs, and I don't know. I think she has a spot now with the cleanse, but still, you can't target the heals. There's so many counters to the Jug ult. I think she's still fine with the Tassador, but everything is fine with Tassador,
Hey, right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I still think Dragon is better than the Jugs. But the cleanse helps out, definitely. I still think you can play her with some kind of hard backline comp where you stay back when you don't have a dive comp. You just try to contest the shrine or basically a sustain fight where you stand back and just heal up targets that are low when you go for double Q or something. I don't know. But yeah, because you can't play her with melee assassin at all. It has to be double front, double backline or triple backline, something that heals the backline. I don't know. She has a weird spot, I think.
Dunk, you were making some shifty eyebrows.
You get the idea, right?
I'm trying to evaluate what BKB is saying. Like, compositionally, I don't know. I have a hard time imagining where I'm gonna pick her. Like, while I agree, I don't think she's like actually a trash hero. I mean, obviously she's okay, but like, I mean, she's good enough for Hero League for sure. I just don't think that giving her cleanse is enough to make her a real hero for competitive. Like BKB was saying, maybe in really, really, really niche situations, but I feel like she's like, it's fine that she's good in Hero League, and I think it's even better that maybe you can pick her for Hero League and still practice your cleansing. Like, let's say you're not that confident on support or whatever, so you pick Li in Hero League, and like now you can pick cleanse and practice your cleansing, which is a really fundamental part of being a support, and like get that experience while you're playing Li. So I think that's actually healthy for the game, but I don't think this change actually improves her that much overall.
Splendor?
Yeah, so like I think I said it already, but my opinion about supports is that there's like 3 playable supports right now. It's Uther, Rhaegar, and Monk, and then everything else is like super bad. And like if you for some reason cannot pick any of those 3 supports, then like Lily is a niche pick among the others, especially if you need cleanse, because Brightwing and Mouth, like it really hurts if you have to get cleanse on one of them. On Lily, not so much. Also, I want to say, when BKB said that Lily can get the double Q, I think actually you should never get a talent, like it just makes the hero worse.
Yeah, I know. I remember we had the discussion, but like I still think, I don't know. I still think it can work in some...
I mean, the thing is that like in some situations it's better, but if they're bursting one of your teammates, then like it's just making you heal him less. And at the same time, like you can take the double serpent, for example, which is actually giving you something.
That's funny because I actually love that talent, and I think it's one of the only reasons I ever pick Lily is because in the compositions that she's good enough, like the completely spread damage, 0 burst, I think that's like the ideal situation for Lily. That talent is just more HPS and lower mana cost per second. So like it is a huge upgrade in like the pure poke 0 burst situation. So I actually really like that talent. Because I would never pick Lily in a situation where that talent is bad, basically. I would never actually pick Lily, but like I think in the situation she's good is when that talent shines.
Which talent? I mean, that's interesting. About
2 for 1. We're talking about 2 for 1.
You right? mean the two heals?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Splendor thinks that it's really bad.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's interesting. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. I was thinking you were talking about the serpents, but yeah, that's how I feel. I feel the same way like you do. I guess that in some of the compositions, the double heal is so good that you get like an extra value out of it. You heal 2 people instantly. You get them. Like the spread damage. But yeah, like it's in such rare compositions that I don't know.
I'm just upset
the game is...
I can't play Taylor Swift music till level 16 now. Like, that's the only reason I used to play Lily on stream, and it's just not worth it anymore. BKB, do you don't listen to Taylor Swift?
No.
What?
You're off the
Taylor Swift is the best.
Shrimpy listens to Taylor Swift.
Yes, every day I listen to Taylor Swift.
I just don't get that music. Sometimes.
It's so good.
Maybe in a party, yeah. But it's not like I sit in my room and listen to
I can just imagine BKB like sitting in his room just blasting Taylor Swift.
You can like just that.
No, what
this is so Gucci right now.
But he has a sauna. He doesn't have to chill in his room.
You can do it in the sauna.
That's true. Wow. That's true.
I'll invite you one day to my sauna and we do some Taylor Swift music.
And a LAN party inside.
Oh,
yes.
Maybe not inside. That might be bad for the computers, but like in proximity of the sauna, I think we can do that. I'm down for that.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna slap each other with the thingies in the sauna and listen to Taylor Swift.
Oh, well then. Sounds like a party.
Oh, BKB. This is why I love you. Slapping things in the saunas here on TownHall Heroes. Lovely. So Lily, still kind of booty butt cheeks. Quality of life up because she has cleanse, good, great, grand, but she's an introductory support, which honestly always seemed like her design, and I think that's probably fine. The game I think everybody just wants more supports playable and competitive, and this is not it. Brightwing did see some changes as well, and Brightwing was already a hero that wasn't already super popular, but polymorph duration has gone down to 1.25. The slow amount has gone up to 25%. The cooldown has been reduced significantly. 15 to 12 is pretty big, and then the mana cost has dropped as well. Do you think that this is a overall buff or a nerf? Dunk Train.
Yeah.
Overall, I have to believe it's a nerf. Like, I don't think it's a big nerf, if a nerf at all, but I think if you made me commit to saying it's a buff or a nerf, I think this is a nerf. Not necessarily because of the base ability time. Like, dropping that quarter second there in exchange for the 3-second cooldown, I think is totally fair. But when you had the greater polymorph, the 2.5 second CC, especially with rewind, was absolutely backbreaking.
Yeah.
And taking the full half second off of that talented version means you take a full second off of the rewinded version, and like that's a really big deal. So I think actually losing the half second on your greater polymorph is a bigger deal than the base duration reduced by a quarter second.
Interesting.
I feel the same way. I have nothing to add for me.
Okay.
Like it doesn't feel as strong. Like you wanna polymorph someone that's actually going to die, or you wanna polymorph the healer that I don't know. Like I don't think you will use polymorph. Like I don't think you will get another polymorph out in a team fight with the cooldown. Like I think the previous version was better.
I feel like Brightwing is actually a really great support. Like I mean, he has a global for support, right? But no Splendor. I'm talking like no.
He has the same problem as Medivh. He doesn't heal.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. That I'm trying to help Blizzard. You know, the only thing what I need to do for Brightwing is to add somehow healing. Do it through talents. I don't care somehow.
Dude, Gust of Healing?
Everything.
Do you remember Gust of
everything
Healing?
else? Yeah, it was good.
It was
and
amazing.
everything of Brightwing is good. Polymorph is nice idea. He has a global. He has the E that reduces the magic thingy. I mean, girl, whatever. I'm just saying that the hero itself is actually not bad. It's just they keep changing. It tilts me. They keep changing the heroes, right? And they just it's easy to balance them. They don't listen to us, or I don't know. They try but I'm realistic, or they try too many things that are unnecessary. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
I think Brightwing is fine. Like I don't know. Like I like to play her instead of Tassadar, you know, as a second healer, not the main healer.
Support.
And then like she brings like kind of the same stuff at us. Like she brings vision, she brings some wave clear, some damage, you know, some shields, and then she has a polymorph as well. I think Brightwing should be seen more as a second healer than as a main healer.
I mean, actually, the thing I like about Brightwing is that she is not as strong as the other healers, but she has a global, and like in the game, actually, there's a lot of heroes that have a global but are as strong as other heroes. Like Falstad is a pretty good example.
Yeah.
So you're saying you like her because from a design perspective, she actually pays something for her global, which you think is correct.
Yeah. So I think like
I agree.
Imagine that they nerf all the global heroes, and like then Brightwing will be better because like having the global gives you more value since it's harder to get it on another hero.
But in competitive scene, you know, it doesn't kind of work because you need a healer with your foreman.
But it depends. Like if you have Violet there.
Yeah, but then we're talking about the double support, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my issue with it. The global is nice for some of the reasons, but still as a support, the global is not so rewarding as on other heroes, as for ranged assassin or a warrior.
I think you can see here as the Haka. Like the Haka can solo tank if you want to utilize on the global as well. And I think that
I'm not sure if the Haka can solo tank.
Like, I don't think good.
I don't think the Haka can solo tank, again, for the same reason that you don't use maximum value of the global.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Right.
I mean, I think
But,
he's saying that, BKB. He's saying that, like, in exchange for having the global, like, the hero, like, if you want to do it as a solo, it's weaker because the global weakens the hero, but, like, you still could do it. So, like, if you play Haka as solo tank, you don't get value out of the global because you need your tank in your fights. So, like, there's a trade-off, essentially. That's what you're trying to say, right, Shrimpy?
But
yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying that they could make her heals quite good, so she should be able to solo heal.
But
to play
North America,
solo
it
support.
does happen rarely, but there are teams that will run solo support Brightwing in some situations where the enemy team doesn't have like a ton of poke. Right? If you're against Kalthas, you're probably not going to run lone Brightwing, but it does happen occasionally. I agree.
Okay,
I agree. She
mean,
needs burst healing. She needs like gust of healing back or something. But
I mean, I think the thing is that right now, like all the top supports, what they can do is, like, if someone messes up, they can actually turn the fight. And with heroes like Brightwing or Mapuran, it's impossible. Like, if you get to one of your allies when he's 20% HP, there's nothing you can do anymore. Unless, like, he's already out. Because with Brightwing, like, the way you heal is you put a spell shot on someone, you wait for the enemies to use most of their AoE stuns, so you can jump in and heal. And, like, if he's already low, you know that if you jump on him, you'll die as well before your second charge is up again. So you just, like, you have to be there early. Like, if you TP mid-fight, you're not going to have impact.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
well,
yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Polymorph got changed.
I agree with Splendor.
We know that much. But moving on to another global hero, Falstad. Now, Falstad saw quite a few changes in this patch. That is the wrong button. There we go. And so he lost battle momentum, he lost first aid, lost a lot of generic talents. Talents in general seem to have a big shuffle. And my overall perspective of the hero is like he's still good, for sure, but he's a little bit less safe for the average player. Schwimpy, have you played much of the new Falstad?
Nothing. I have played none of that.
None.
I've been up with Chromie and feeding stuff. I don't know. Wait, I actually have to read this through so you can go start with someone.
Oh, okay. Dunk, any impressions on Falstad?
I haven't played it, but from just reading the changes and like I discussed it a little bit with K1 the other day. Like, I think it's a nerf overall, but I don't think it's like the death blow to Falstad. Like it changes around some of his strengths, and I think it makes the mage build a little weaker, which I think is fair. And it probably will still be playable, but I think it's just like a small nerf overall.
Okay.
I think it's quite a decent nerf. I don't know. I played with Mana. He played with Falstad. He played Falstad quite a few games, and he at least also said that it feels weaker. I mean, power throw, hammer, like, I know Q talent got removed. Flow Rider is like level 13. Like, come on, those are like, I don't know why they did change Falstad. Like, I mean, I think he was in a decent spot.
Yeah, so most people with the mage build used to get the Q range on 4 instead of the Flow Rider, but like the Koreans always got the Flow Rider. So if you want to go for the Flow Rider, it's easier to do it now, I guess, since you don't have to decide between. But you don't have the range then. Anyway,
Yeah.
but I played one game of Falstad today, and I felt that he's pretty similar to how he is before. He's a bit weaker, I think. Like, I think the biggest nerf is the stun. Like, it no longer has a stun on 16.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the stun was
really important.
It was very underrated because people don't expect it, even though like they know about it, but they don't really expect it. And especially if you go for the secret weapon, like the stun lets you do all of your autos, and like it gives you a lot more value from your Q.
I think that was a much needed
Yeah.
change myself, because Falstad has literally everything, and having a stun in his kit was just insane.
And
I mean,
like the thing that's good about him now is the changes he's a marksman, and I think it's much better now because when you get 40 damage, which is late game, it gives you berserk for free. if you do like Berserk with secret weapon, it's pretty scary.
Huh. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That does sound good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I think it was a well-needed nerf. I think he was a bit too strong. Even though people, even though like people prioritized Katie and stuff over him, I think it's
okay.
I think on big maps he's the strongest, or was the strongest hero.
Okay, I just feel that I feel in a different way because I want the heroes to be more OP. So instead of nerfing Falstad, they should just buff other heroes. That's how I feel. Like I just disagree with this. Like there was KT who was broken, Falstad who was broken, right? And it's fine. These heroes are nice.
Falstad was broken, and he got the global.
But still, you would pick prioritize other heroes over Falstad in some situations. I'm just saying that you can still work on the other heroes, right? To make them as strong as them. Don't nerf him. Make other heroes more playmaking, like I don't know, more damage, more something. And then
I'm fine with that way. Like I just think he was a bit too good for the like general. I don't know how to say.
Okay,
it,
I'm just saying. He wasn't like overbroken, first ban, first pick. You know,
if people are picking a global hero on Tomb, then there's something wrong with that hero.
Yeah. Can even be still nice on Tomb? I don't know. But I get your point, definitely.
So
I don't know. I think he's.
But I'm just saying,
more balanced now.
Yeah, try to balance the game with not nerfing, but actually buffing other heroes. That's my point. I think it's healthier for the game, but yeah, that's my opinion.
Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, we'll see. We'll see where he stands this weekend. Obviously, in competition, it sounds like he hasn't been tested a lot by everyone here. Overall consensus is he's in a pretty similar spot, probably slightly less good than before. But maybe more diversity. We'll see. Maybe we'll see like it was all auto attack for a while. Now it's been all mage. Now maybe we'll see preferences based on compositions, which is obviously something Blizzard is, wanting. They want to see build diversity on heroes as often as possible. I think that's a big goal for the team, and it sounds like they might have found that money spot. Who knows? Time will tell. But I think we covered pretty much all the big things in the patch. A few other small things is like there's now an in-game clock. If you click on, I think you have to click on Chromie's hourglass and then it appears. Let's actually just do that. So I think if you click here, she wiggles. Oh, you see it up here? It's kind of appearing. You just keep clicking. And bam, we have a clock. How neat. So that's cool. That's really good. That's a feature that's been asked for quite a while. And now we can finally see what time it is when we're in the client. You don't have to alt-tab to Windows to look. Any other things from the patch that you guys wanted to bring up? Drafting is up to 40 or up to 60 seconds for the first ban, I think now. It's from 45 in Hero League. A Dustin Brother tweet confirmed that there will be an unranked draft. I read that within the last week or two. I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, I don't think there was much other than that. Oh, Executioner we didn't cover, but I think it's like a really huge change.
Yeah, good call.
I think that's like huge, and with Arthas being back in the meta, I think it's going to be really good. So look up for that. But we didn't touch on that, but I think that's definitely impactful.
Yeah, let's just talk about Executioner really quick. So basically, the talent has been reworked with increased basic attack damage by 30% for 3 seconds after the target has been stunned or slowed. So basically, there's a 3-second lingering effect of that stun or slow where Executioner is going to get value. And, you think of heroes that have Executioner, Raynor in particular, like maybe he's going to fly up in the meta. His win rate's already going up.
Yeah, I think people are going to be surprised just how much extra uptime you get by having that 3-second window, and it barely lost any damage. So it is really impactful, I think.
Muradin level 16 feels also actually quite okay. Like with the slow and stun, like you have slow, and it's the damage still works, and then you have when your like extra damage goes out, you just stun, and you get the extra damage again. And versus like KT. It feels so much, actually. You can feel it. Like, you can kill him a lot faster, But still, it's level 16, so...
What was, is the damage numbers the same?
No,
No,
well,
it used to be 40 and now it's 30.
but
Okay.
Muradin had 75. Now he has 60. But still,
Okay,
60 is a lot.
That's good then. Otherwise, it would be broken.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it is broken.
Maybe it is.
Especially on some heroes where you usually get executioner or like situation pick executioner, like DreamHack.
Vala is good as well.
Yeah.
Does Hammer still have executioner?
Yeah, she does, I think.
Hammer meta, boys, let's go.
Oh, gosh. Please, no.
But there's a counter to Hammer now, Chromie.
That's actually true. Chromie wrecks Hammer.
Nice meme. Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean,
You don't think Chromie's good against Hammer?
Of course, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, Blizzard was like, "Hey, Arthas is getting buffed. Probably Hammer's gonna be broken. Let's make Chromie."
They knew it.
Yeah, dude. They're just that far ahead of you, BKB. You're making all these complaints, but really, they thought all this out way ahead.
I don't care. Like, trust me or not, but they're like trolling us. They're straight up like making fun of us or some shit.
But maybe the plan was for Chromie to be a counter to Tychus. It was like, Chris picking Tychus every game. We need something to kill the drill.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In the Gold League finals, they did play a lot of Tychus.
I mean, in the winner bracket finals of the Gold League, there was like every game. And even today in Super League, there was Tychus.
Do you guys think Tychus is good? Because we haven't seen like any in NA at all, and I don't think we saw any in EU, did we? Like
Arthalon played him this weekend. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, we also saw Cho'Gath, so...
You played golf.
I mean, we actually played a bit of Tychus in scrims, and he's very strong.
Okay, interesting.
I think he's strong as well. I think he has a good place.
That's good.
I don't know. He feels does a lot early, mid, and late. Like, he's all the time good. That's how I feel.
He's a bit situational. Like, you cannot first pick him because...
Of course.
Like, there are some conditions, like, you need to be able to attack their tanks. So, like, if your tanks... If you have, like, ETC versus Stitches or something, then he just kills behind him and then you get free damage. That kind of stuff. He's very good for Tychus.
Or Joanna. He's also good versus Joanna as well. Like, basically, like, these warriors, you know, like Stitches, Joanna, Arthas, you know, not like Muradin or ETC, those that can jump on you. He actually has a good spot, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have time for covering the patch itself. Let's kind of move over to our esports segment. So I want to open up the segment with a bit of an announcement of something new that's coming out. Basically, there's a brand new amateur league, or like basically a lot of the amateur leagues are banding together and launching something called Heroes United. And you know, they're going to be launching it all today. You can go to, I think it's hotsunited.com is the short link you could use. And it's Divergent Gaming, Heroes Hype, Sweet Synergy, and Random CS have all banded together, and their goal is to support the structure for weekly tournament organizations, create greater opportunities for the Heroes of the Storm teams, and have a majors tournament every quarter. So basically, between all these events, you're going to be able to, you know, compete and essentially earn your spot into the major tournament, which will, I think the first final will be in June. And Matt Torino is one of the partners sponsoring this whole league. So, you know, you can find out all the info here at the Heroes United website. And this is just a great initiative. I mean, it gives opportunities for the grassroots teams that are trying to find their way into competitive. This is something I think we're desperate for. You look at something like League of Legends where they have LCS, but then they have Challenger. And with Heroes, we don't really have, we have open tournaments, but there's no structure where people can regularly like just practice and get better. It's hard to break into the pro scene and find pro teams to scrim with, find people at your own skill level. And even with the new Hero League coming out, which I think from the ground up is going to be great for the game, I actually think Heroes United is a huge step forward to be that middle ground. So, you know, there's a lot of people working on this. They've been working hard for this community for a long time, and this is a pretty darn big project. So I'm pretty excited for them. I don't know why it says visit our website when I'm on their website. What's happening? Oh, that's the Random CS website. Nice. Well, that's a bit confusing, but we did it, boys. So Heroes United, go check it out, guys. And if you're interested in being part of it, all the info is right there. And I'll make sure to put a link in the YouTube description for everybody that links that listens to the show. So moving on, there's been a bit of rumbling on the internet this morning. I woke up to Reddit threads and tweets and people talking on their stream and a lot of discussions. And Dunk, I was hoping you could shed some light as to what may or may not be going down.
Unfortunately, somebody was upset by the roster changes, so they leaked it before we could make sure that it got like a reasonable explanation out there and write-up and stuff like that. So sadly, we didn't get the opportunity to do any of that stuff, and it was leaked like really early in the morning or whatever. So, I mean, that sucks. And the problem with that is that it looks bad for everyone involved too. Like, so I'm pretty sad that someone leaked it, and I expected more. But regardless of that, there were no rule shenanigans. Rules weren't changed to allow this. It was really obvious if you read the other rules, but people are like being silly about that. So it's not like rules were changed or anything. It is happening, and I think it sucks for Arth mostly because it was a really time-sensitive thing that we had to do, and it sucks for brainpower too because now they have to find a new player, and you know everything's short on time. But it was the best decision we felt we could make, and it sucks, man.
Yeah. I actually talked to the ESL admins just to echo that a little bit, and I was like, so there's a lot of back and forth between whether or not this is allowed, and basically what they said to me was there was some confusion with what people perceive for the rule set for Sweden and then what people perceive for the rule set for LA. And long story short is, yes, there were no rules changed. This is how it was from the beginning, and the swap is completely legal. So, that is from the admins. This is completely legal, and Cattle, from what I understand, is totally allowed to move over to C9. Now, I wanted to ask you, Dunk, personally, like how big you think this is for the team, because Cattle is a shot caller, and this is something that Cloud9 doesn't necessarily have or ever had. You guys have always said that you don't have a dedicated shot caller. Cattle's bringing that to the team, but he's also a warrior player. So how's that going to work?
The current impression is that we're moving into a 2-tank meta anyway, and Cattle's strongest warriors actually line up to kind of cover the warriors that Cap doesn't like to play. Like, everybody knows Cap doesn't really like to play Johanna, and Cattle's really, really good on Johanna. So I feel like it's going to be really easy for us to adapt to that and allow Cap to play the bruisers, which are more his style anyway, because he really likes playing Arthas, he really likes playing Sonya, he really likes playing Thrall. So I think it's actually really good for us because we can always have Cattle play the primary defensive-oriented tank, and Cat can play the bruisers that he really loves. And even then, if we're only running a 1-tank composition, Cattle is a solid flex, so it's really easy for him to flex into another role if necessary. I mean, I wasn't talking about like or dislike Cattle. I just said you're really good on Johanna, if you listen to the wording, brother. But yeah.
But I completely agree with you. And as long as you have, I think if those warriors have a good synergy, especially, and like you said, the warrior meta could be, back in the scene, I think it could easily work out. It could be like your playstyle, to run the double warrior. So I wouldn't be surprised if it worked out quite good for you with Caterpillar as a warrior, and especially again with the Arthas, in the game.
Like you said,
so let me write this down. C9 always double tank. I'm getting some info here for Sweden. Just make sure you make it there, otherwise.
Yeah, if we make this Sweden, otherwise your research is wasted, dude.
Yeah.
I think
but it could work out, and good luck.
Yeah, I think it's going to make C9 really strong. Not to take anything away from Arthlon, but the fact that you're putting in a shot caller alone from a strong player itself, that's great. But a shot caller in the mix that's going to be add a different perspective on the game because Kog has been doing very well. And they obviously have their own style. And then to put Calf, like he's already been trying to dip away from like those main warriors. It seems like, you know, we see him playing the Thrall in Battlefield of Eternity. You can see he's been itching to play more of the bruiser role already. I think that's gonna spice up his life. But when's Dungtrain gonna get his fun new support love? Oh no, Blizzard, you gotta help him out. Shwimpy, do you agree about the double warrior meta?
Yes, I agree. I think it will be much more double warrior now. It was pretty sad, like when me and Athero went to Fnatic, the double warrior meta went away, so we couldn't play it. But I think it's coming back now, and I think the swap is good for C9 because I think, like from what I've seen and understood, Calf likes to play like the melee assassins and the bruisers much more. So I think this is great for them.
No, we have to speculate who's going to go to Brain Power. Any speculations?
I have no clue.
Nothing.
I mean, also doing this change before the qualifier also gives them more time to find a person for bid rank too, which is...
That is true, looking at it that way. I mean...
The best we could do in this situation. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they're going to pick up to fit that role.
Well, best of luck to Arthlon and best of luck to whomever steps in the shoes for Cognitive and whatever else mid-season roster apocalypse this could cause, because when a roster shuffle happens at the top, it also usually has a trickle-down effect. So it's going to be really fun to cover this. And, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Keep your eyes peeled for more changes because it's... I would say it's inevitable. This is pure speculation, but who knows? Who knows? Unfortunately, tonight we will not have time for viewer questions because we are already pretty much at our time limit. But the one thing I want to ask mainly to Shwimpy right now, Shwimpy, does that room smell like lavender? Does it smell like detergent? Like, how nice does that? Is this the most exciting stream you've ever had? 2 hours of sitting in a laundry room sounds...
don't blush, Shwimpy.
Like, sometimes I sit here, like, by default. I like sitting in the laundry room, actually.
It's nice atmosphere, right?
Yes. Like, you feel free, and I don't know.
You
like,
look good in it. It fits you. It fits you.
Wait. You can't see it. Wait.
No, it's all dark. It's Shwimpy's magic room. Viewers, so is that washing machine 2000?
It's got to
like,
be 2000.
Is that the new brand?
It's got to be.
It comes with Wi-Fi.
I bet you they have washing machines with Wi-Fi that you can download new wash cycles to them or something.
They probably do now, man.
I mean, it's fucking Sweden.
What did you say? My headset went out.
I said that you and the room is one love. Like, you are meant for that room. It looks good with you.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I like it here.
So we've had Snitch on, who has like a refrigerator and is like right behind him. He's like in a kitchen or something. Splendor, why don't you have anything weird?
I have something weird.
Nice meme, bro.
Oh, I love
it. Splendor, you're like the next level troll, evil master. I don't know, godlike.
Can you show us the whole thing? I want to see it. It looks way cooler than the Austin trophy. The Austin trophy was...
I'm sorry, but it's too big.
What do you mean? Like, it's next level, I tell you.
I swear, it's like Artanis' gauntlet or something. It's got to be.
No, Splendor, show it like the full thing.
It's too big, man. He said.
No, he's just trolling. You see?
Yeah, that's cool.
It's fucking cool.
Very proud.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice.
Savage.
Savage. Well, friends, am I missing any esports news of things that are happening? Well, the final qualifier is this weekend. We know, and actually we didn't bring that up, as C9 will be competing in that final qualifier. Kind of like that My Insanity life. Last qualifier gets in, goes in, wins event. Maybe C9 can make that happen for NA. Who knows? Obviously, with Cattle coming in, I see they're being total. You guys got second place in Austin, right? I think I was a little shocked to see you guys lose this weekend. But Dunk's looking at the sky. He's thinking about it.
Yeah. That was an interesting situation.
That's one way to put it.
But yeah, people were freaking out. But I mean, we still got second in Austin, and that was anybody's tournament in the finals, let alone like group stage. So I don't know. People were freaking out way too much about Art's comments and like trash talking and stuff, which is totally unnecessary. Like, I don't know.
Arts comics? Which ones? Oh, the meme in the community.
Yeah.
The 1 hour meme or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's
like I think everyone here will actually agree. Like between all the pro players, it's honestly a fact. Like a lot of the depth to the game doesn't come from the mechanical complexity, and I was kind of trying to touch on this with like the Artanis bug talk decision type stuff. Like there's not that much mechanical complexity. Like that's what he was trying to say. All of the depth is in decision making,
right,
which I think is an accurate statement. It's just the way he said it.
Agree.
The way he said it sadly got taken like, the way it was said instead of the way it was meant.
That's just kind of how Arthlon is too. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Just he doesn't necessarily always voice himself the way that he means it. But I think everyone in the community that knows Arthlon knew that when that statement came out. But obviously the masses, it's a little harder to understand. But on that note, I mean, that means team name change and Astral Authority were the two teams to qualify this past weekend. So big congrats to them on earning their spots. I mean, team name change advanced over Cloud9 and Astral Authority advanced over Tempo Storm, the two oldest names in North America. Tempo went through some big changes. Just to talk about that really quickly, Urho's already off. They brought in Tiger JK. They moved Zix to Warrior. They put Tiger JK on support. Massive changes to their roster in the qualifier this past weekend. Like it was interesting to watch those games. Dunk, I guess you didn't hear about this.
What's up? Sorry, I was responding to something in chat that made me frown.
Okay.
Honestly, I zoned out.
Okay, not a problem. But yeah, that's pretty much the state of the NA scene. But let's move over to shout outs. So Splendor, Schwimpy, thank you guys so much for joining us. And Splendor, where can everyone find out more about you or watch your stream, follow you on Twitter, whatever?
Yeah, I sometimes stream like once a year or something. It's
Nice.
Twitch TV / Splendor with double R. Then my Twitter is @SplendorHot.
Awesome, man. And shout outs to your team who qualified for Sweden. Good luck there.
Congrats again, and good luck in Sweden.
Speaking of Sweden, Schwimpy, the local, the legend.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on.
So
man.
you find me at... Thank you. You can find me at Twitter at Schwimp, I think.
Yep.
Twitch at Schwimpy. That's probably it. And shout out to everyone for watching, and shout out to MYI for going to Sweden. I will see you there and cheer for you.
Are you going to attend?
Yeah, I live 1 hour away, so I'm just gonna go there.
Nice.
Nice.
It's in Jönköping, right? Did I say that completely wrong?
No, it's Jönköping, but it was okay for being
again?
foreign. Jönköping.
All right, I'm gonna practice that. Dunk Train.
Hi. Okay, so shoutouts. I mean, obviously you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at DunkTrain or twitch.tv/DunkTrain. I intend to stream more, but I always say that, and then I always break hearts, but I will try not to do so.
I'm going to make you carry me in Hero League. I'm going to make you do it. You're going to commit.
In your dreams, buddy.
Damn.
JK. We'll get some in. I got to level a Smurf, though, so I can not lose all my rating. I mean,
Oh, savage.
Anyway, yeah. I know, closing comments, I hope everything turns out okay for Arth and everything. I hope he does well. I'm sorry to see him go. And yeah, thanks all of our fans who stick with us through roster apocalypses and such. Shout out to Snitch for being in Twitch TV chat and being funny. And thank you to our guests for being on and awesome.
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 BKB.
I wanted to make shout out to Shrimpy and Splendor for coming to the episode. I wanted to say, actually, the Mind Sanity team is a perfect example of what teams should be. If you think about it, some time ago they were not like top 2 consistently, and then they raised to went to the top 2 being consistently, and now they're like top 1. So hard work and sticking together is a good example what the team should be like. And for you, Shrimpy, and your team, I would say good luck with the new roster. I think it's so Gucci to have like the same nationality, and it's Sweden. You're the first Swedish team, like a real one, like a top tier, and I think it can work out. So keep practicing, and and shout out to viewers coming by and watching this episode. It was fun. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, is Fnatic a Swedish organization or are they French or something?
Yeah,
they're based
right?
in London.
They're based in London.
But they're Swedish.
Their office is in London, but I mean they like Swedes, I guess. Full CS
No.
Swedish.
Are you 100% sure?
Yeah, their main office is in London. That's all I know.
Okay, but okay.
Just, just a
I
random
got
question. Wrecked.
I got wrecked. Yes, I all the time thought that Fnatic is like Swedish organization.
I think you can believe that. Like,
No, it's I just checked it. It's UK.
yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Well, they can pretend they're Swedes. Like I pretend I'm Canadian sometimes. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for coming on. And thank you, everyone. Again, check out HantsUnited.com, a brand new initiative for the amateur scene. I think it's a big deal to see. There's all these amateur leagues that competed against each other that had almost anti-synergy at one point of time, and now they've banded together to make something great for the scene, and I think it's going to be really good for North America. Maybe that will spill into Europe eventually because I feel like it can do great things. I want to also give a big shout-out to the sauna of BKB. I mean, that place just looks absolutely wonderful. I would love to visit it sometime.
I mean, easy, Katka. Just buy a ticket and you can live here. I swear to God.
I'm coming to visit. I don't know if I'm gonna live there, but I'm gonna visit.
Next time, I'll just find a picture. Like I'll make a picture with my sauna. So
can you be in the sauna shirtless?
Maybe we'll see. Right. It depends on my mood.
If you take that picture, send it to Kubi first. He would love it.
Okay, nice. Good to know.
I think you have to share the first sauna with Muppet.
Oh no.
Dank meme.
Dank meme, boys. Thanks so much for tuning into Town Hall Heroes, episode number 107. We will be back next week with 108. We'll know our 8 teams competing in the LA ESL regional event, and much more, maybe. We'll see you then. GG's.